I made these with this. Today I'm reviewing the OXO Good Grips Cookie Press. But before I get into that, I want to let you all know I am having a giveaway for Betty Crocker's cookie book. I have such great memories of this book growing up. It is one of my absolute favorites, and I think everyone should have a copy. I can't give everyone a copy, but I can give someone a copy. So be sure to watch until the end to find out how to enter. I kept seeing this cookie press pop up in some of the videos I was watching. I kept hearing about it. This is amazing. It's the best cookie press I've ever used. So I added it to my Christmas list. And then I realized I was gonna wanna use it before Christmas, so I just bought it for myself. Merry Christmas to me. It has been a very, very long time since I've made Spritz cookies. Just to go over a little bit about this press, the box does have a lid. I just took it off because it was a little too reflective for the camera. But I am gonna keep this box because it holds everything really, really nicely. So it comes with the press itself, and it comes with 12 different discs to make different shaped cookies, as well as this great little carrying case, like storage box, which I absolutely love. So it holds all the discs, but it also has like little slots. So it's not like it's just a box where they're sliding around, like they're in there. You can also purchase expansion packs for this cookie press. I found that with the included designs, I was able to make a nice array of holiday cookies. So it comes with a snowflake, a heart, a buttercup, a shell, a wreath, a tree, a sunflower, a daisy, a fleur-de-lis, a bear, a leaf, and a butterfly. I think you could go ahead and buy the holiday expansion packs if you wanted, but it gives you a nice array to start with anyway. You might not actually need those extras. It does come with a booklet that includes helpful tips, use and care, and then it has several recipes in here. I didn't follow the recipes in this booklet. I used my beloved Betty Crocker cookie book. I feel like people have been making this Spritz cookie recipe from this book for years, so I thought let's start with one of the basics. So let me show you how I made these adorable cookies. Before I get to play with my cookie press, I have to make some dough. So I'm gonna use the recipe that's in this book. A lot of people swear by it. I even went online to see if Betty Crocker had it on their website, just to see what the reviews were, make sure it was okay. That's where I'm gonna start. Mix butter, sugar, egg, salt, and flavoring thoroughly. 1 cup of butter. I will have the full recipe written in the description underneath this video in case you don't have a copy of the cookie book. Sugar, so that's 1/2 cup of white sugar. That is 1 egg. Salt, that is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then the flavoring. You can flavor this any number of ways. The original recipe just uses almond or vanilla. I've seen people use butter rum flavoring. Then I saw that one lady swears by using 1/2 vanilla, 1/2 almond. So that's what I'm gonna try. That sounds really good. I love both of those flavors, and why not? We're experimenting here. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1/2 teaspoon of almond. Mix all of this together thoroughly. So that looks pretty thoroughly mixed to me. Now it's time to move on to the flour. So that's 2 1/4 cups of flour, just all-purpose flour. And it just says dipping method. You don't have to sift it. And it says work in flour. So I'm gonna try to use this maybe a little bit. If it gets too hard, I'll switch to a spatula. I used a combination of hand mixer and spatula just to make sure that like all the flour was incorporated. And now I think I'm gonna get in there with my hands and kind of do the final mixing just a little bit. Ooh, nice and squishy. Very soft, but not sticky. This seems right from what I remember. It's been a while. That is the amount of dough that we have. And the next step is dividing this into fourths before we use the cookie press. And I'm gonna divide it into 4 different pieces, and I'm gonna have 4 different colors of dough. So we're gonna have some fun with this. I washed and dried all parts of this press thoroughly before getting started. Unscrew the base of the cookie press. Select a disc. I chose the heart. And place the disc into the base. Screw the base back onto the bottom of your cookie press. Open the top of the press by first holding down the gray quick release button and pulling up the plunger knob completely. Then you can unscrew the top of the press to remove it. Now it's time to place your dough inside the press. I formed my dough into a log shape to make things a little bit easier. Screw the top of the press back on. Press the quick release button again and push plunger down gently until it touches the top of your dough. Press the lever down a few times until the first bit of dough is pressed through the disc. Scrape off the excess dough. I set the extra dough aside for later to use for additional cookies. Hold the press flat against the baking sheet. Press the lever down once to release a cookie. Pull up the press and ta-da! A cookie! Move press and repeat until the dough is gone. I'm decorating these heart cookies by pressing a little red hot cinnamon candy into the center of each one before baking. I think these turned out super cute. And now they're ready to go into a 400-degree oven for 6 to 8 minutes. I did some pretty basic decorations on these. I put a little bit of sanding sugar on the trees and the buttercups. I put a little red hot cinnamon candy in the heart. You know, just easy stuff. I decorated them before I put them in the oven, and then the sugar and everything kind of stuck on its own. Overall, I'm really pleased with this cookie press. I think it's pretty easy to use, but I do have some takeaways, some helpful advice, things that I learned that I want to share with everyone. So of course, before you use this, you want to go ahead and wash and dry it very thoroughly. And I mean dry it thoroughly. Go ahead and like wipe it off with a dish towel, but then let it sit and air dry for a little while before you actually use it. Because some of the water can get kind of like stuck in those nooks and crannies if you're not careful. And then when you put your dough in, it doesn't want to stick to the baking sheet. Speaking of baking sheets, use a regular aluminum sheet pan. Don't go for anything non-stick. I tried to use my air bake cookie sheets at first, and the dough itself was just not sticking to those sheets. The directions say use an ungreased baking sheet. This dough kind of like needs something to grab onto if you're going to like get those nice consistent little cookies. Otherwise, you're just going to pull the dough right back off with the press. Another thing on baking sheets, I found it easiest for me to hold on to the baking sheet as I was pulling the press away. There were a few instances where I kind of like pulled the baking sheet up with the press and then the cookie wouldn't stick. So I would just, use one hand to hold the sheet down while I pulled the press away, and then I would have my perfect little cookie there. You can go ahead and chill your baking sheets, but don't let them get too cold. I actually put mine in the freezer before I started, and I found that it was overkill. The dough just like didn't want to stick to those frozen cookie sheets. So, make sure it's cool, pop it in the refrigerator for a couple of minutes, but just like don't overdo it. If you want to change dough colors and you don't want them to get mixed up, you can go ahead and, disassemble the press and just like wipe it out. So wipe the excess like green dough out if you're going to switch to red or something. Don't wash it. At least when I did that, water kind of got in there like I mentioned earlier, and then my dough wouldn't stick to the sheet. So I just ended up taking a paper towel and kind of like wiping all of it out, getting in those nooks and crannies, and then putting my next color of dough inside. As for the discs, some were a little bit easier for me to work with than the others. I think by far the easiest was the heart. My theory is that the heart is just like one piece. It's like one opening, and it seemed like the more openings, the harder it was for that dough to stick together. In my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, the most difficult was the wreath. And I think it's because it's got that part in the center where the dough isn't extruded. So it was just a little bit tougher. I had to get the hang of it. Overall, I think this is a very easy cookie press to use. I would not hesitate to buy this again or buy it for someone who's looking for a press. I really, really love OXO products. I have a ton of them, and they tend to be really high quality. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I wish. I love OXO. Their products tend to be high quality, they tend to last a long time, and they tend to be well designed and easy to use. That is my experience, that is my opinion. I'm not gonna say that across the board for every single product, and your mileage may vary, of course. And now, the giveaway. I'm going to be giving away one copy of Betty Crocker's Cookie Book to one of my lovely viewers. And to enter this giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel and drop a comment on this video telling me what your favorite Christmas cookie is. Entries will be accepted until midnight Eastern Standard Time on December 8th. And then from there, I will pick someone at random and let them know they won, and they can give me their address. Just to let you know, this is not an original copy of Betty Crocker's Cookie Book that I'm giving away. It is an early 2000s reprint of the original 1963 edition. Everything appears just the same in this book as it did back in 1963. Also wanted to let you know this is not a brand new copy. I did find an extra copy at Half Price Books, and that is the one I will be giving away. It's in great condition though. If you win, I may not be able to guarantee that you'll receive it by Christmas, but I will try my best. I can't wait to hear what everyone's favorite cookie is. I love baking, especially at the holidays. It's so much fun, and it really makes me feel good. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. Are you going to get this cookie press? Do you already have it? I'd love to hear about that, so please let me know in the comments. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos about food, vintage cookbooks, and retro recipes every week. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!